Okay, so welcome to the town hall for Discord. I'm Deadeye. I believe I've met most everyone here except for a couple of raiders. Welcome. Um, again, like I said, most of you know a lot of what's going on, but TeamSpeak has been around for us from the beginning. We've had websites, we've had forums, we've had Facebook groups, and all kinds of things, but our one constant was TeamSpeak. We kind of considered it the foundation of the community. It's where, as I like to say, that's where the community happened. Everything else was kind of secondary, but really the community happened here. Um, when a lot of you are here because of TeamSpeak, we as an admin team over the years have always said, how do we grow, how do we get new people here? How do we get people to get connected and stay? And the number one way has always been if you can get them to come to TeamSpeak, if you can get them to download TeamSpeak and join our server and hang out with our people, they'll stay and they'll keep coming back. And generally that's been true. It's been that hurdle at the very beginning of convincing people to download and connect that has often been our challenge as a team to grow. And like I said, there's always been alternatives. There's Mumble, Skype, Ventrilo, Discord. Some have come and gone. There's Curse, Curse client. There's just VoIP is a big thing, obviously. So we finally feel like we may have found a solution to our bottleneck in the community, and that tends to be getting the threshold of getting people into TeamSpeak and connected. Because it is a third party, I say third party, because it is a download, and people don't want to take the time to do it, or they have their favorite, and they want to use what they're already using. So, what we're doing today, Rock has prepared a little fact sheet basically of the features of Ventrilo. I'm sorry, not Ventrilo. The features of Discord, what Discord is capable of, what its features are, what it can do that TeamSpeak can't, vice versa, what TeamSpeak can do that Discord can't. What features are we gaining, what features are we losing? Would we be losing? I'm sorry, I don't mean to state in a tense that implies that this has been decided. Most everyone that we've talked to on the admin team and the raid team and the people who tried it and the community in general that have tried Discord generally like it and prefer it, but that's certainly not everyone. This is not a decision-making meeting. Moving forward, I suspect, unless there's an outcry, we'll put this to a vote. We'll have a week or so of discussion and people trying out the client and then we'll go into some sort of poll, I would imagine. But anyway, up next, Rock's going to go into this analysis. Does anyone have any questions up front about big scope items? Not actually the software, but community questions, why we're doing this, blah 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 blah, anything like that? Okay. In that case, Rock, go ahead and do your little analysis. If anyone could hold your questions to the end, he may cover what you're gonna ask.
So the big difference here is that Discord is potentially web-based. You don't have to run it from the web, but you can, and that's the big difference. Is you click a link and you put a username in, and you're in. You don't download anything. It doesn't have the ability to do push to talk from globally. Like if you activate another, like if you pull up Discord and then you pull up your game, it's not going to work for push to talk. Which is something that the desktop client does support. So with TeamSpeak, the desktop app is required. There is no way to get into TeamSpeak without an application of some sort. With Discord, you can get instant web access with a link. Now, another thing to note is that because of the identity system in TeamSpeak, there is it's very easy for someone to create an identity, go into a server and do stuff, and then disconnect from that server and create another identity, and they can do that forever. And it's really, really easy to create separate identities, and there's no information carried between them other than like friends lists. With Discord, you have a login. If you do choose to permanently join a server, you get a login. You can set up a login with Discord, and everything you have, what servers you're banned from, all your settings are tied to that login. So it makes it more difficult and more time consuming for people to do things that are sort of trolly in nature. Another big thing about the big difference is the chat systems are very different. Currently, TeamSpeak supports obviously chat, links, and the channels are tied to the VoIP channels. So you have a chat channel for each individual VoIP channel in the server. Discord's a little bit different. It supports chat and links, obviously, but it also supports inline rendering of images, videos, animated GIFs, other things. I think it does Twitter and SoundCloud as well. So you can play all that stuff like inline, so you don't ever have to open another web browser. And it does have just a little bit more enhanced chat client than TeamSpeak in that regard. As far as mobile apps concerned, I don't know a whole lot of people actually use mobile apps for in general, but I figured I would cover it. With TeamSpeak, I think it's $2 or $3. I haven't seen the iOS store page, but it is a paid app. Discord's is free. The TeamSpeak's app is more VoIP channel focused, so if you open the app, you'll see a list of the voice channels. And I'm not sure if push to talk is something you have to enable, but it seems to be on voice activation by default. In Discord's, it has a drop down to select your VoIP channel, but the main focus is on the chat, and then there's a push to talk button at the bottom of it. And if you'd like to see more of those, you can look them up on your respective app store, and you should be able to see a couple screenshots. One thing that TeamSpeak does do very well is desktop app customization. You can customize the entire skin, the icons, voice packs, a whole lot of things in that regard. Discord's desktop client does not have very much in the way of customization. Pretty much nothing, actually. So it's very simple in that regard, but it is less featureful in customization. And something I noticed is that you don't really have a bookmark list in Discord. If you're joined to a server, you're always connected to it. It's just a matter of whether or not you join the VoIP channels. In TeamSpeak, you manually set up bookmarks as you see fit. In Discord, whatever channel you join until you leave that server, you're in that server. It's just you're not in the VoIP for that server. Another thing we had questions about is security. I can tell you that the security in my house is probably not super duper great because I'm running a router, and I don't know how strong that firewall is, but I know there's at least one port I literally can't close. So we've had a couple breaches in the past year for people using the server query to grant themselves admin and then just shut down the server. With Discord, as far as I'm aware, that's not possible. From my research, they're hosted on Google's cloud services. So somebody gets into Google Cloud Services, we have a much bigger problem than Discord being down. And I don't know that there's been any recorded breaches. I've looked. I couldn't really find anything. I didn't expect to find anything, but again, I didn't. Another thing we've had issues with recently is reliability. I'll have power outages here occasionally, or my internet will go down, and it's basically down for the day until I get home. Again, Discord's hosted with Google. I don't have enough data to determine its reliability. We did have a slight hiccup on the beta test with the RAID team. It seemed like the API that controlled chat functions was down. And they do have a page that tells you what's down. It's kind of like a situation page deal that Microsoft has sometimes, but it'll tell you what's the problem is and what they're doing to look into it. But we had an issue with that, but since it seems to be fine, again, I don't have enough real data to make a assessment on how reliable it is in the long term, but I would imagine it's pretty decent. That's all the hard data I have. I'm sure I missed something, and if you have any questions, go ahead.
Thank you. That was very, very, very good. I appreciate you taking the time to do that analysis. That was
Any
very
questions?
fast. Yeah, real quick. I just want to hit this from a high level, just summary, because like I said, that was very fast. Rock's a very fast talker.
Sorry.
That's fine. Again, accessibility, TeamSpeak, you have to download, and yeah, you have to download it. Discord, hey, let's chat. Okay, here's a link. One click. We're talking. One click. That's the biggest thing for me. One click.
That's a link to the document, by the way, if you want to just
Yeah,
read
if you
it.
guys want to look at the little sheet that Rock's got here. Again, another big selling point from a feature standpoint, Discord. You can share YouTube videos, images, GIFs, inline in the chat channel. It's always there. Whereas TeamSpeak, like Rock just did, he posted a link. Well, granted, this link wouldn't necessarily. He could take a screenshot of this thing, of this chart, and send it to chat channel, and it would show everyone. No need to go to browser or anything with it. Very cool feature. Other big things, like you said, TeamSpeak is much more customizable visually. The Discord client visually is very not customizable. There are features, or there are settings and things like that, of course, but the visual customization is not there at this time. Security is big. Like he mentioned, we've had some breaches, we've had some outages. Of course, we're in Tulsa, we're in the tornado alley, so we have power outages, and of course, any of that would shut it down. Google is going to be much more. I mean, Google's uptime is probably the best in the world, I would imagine, other than maybe the government.
I wouldn't bet. I would not
Maybe.
bet on the government being better.
And of course, security. There's been some security questions. Discord does store some data. They store some trends of how you surf. It's very typical to what a website would do for their own record keeping. Again, we obviously expect the owners of that information to handle it responsibly and not sell it or let it get out, but that happens. It's a real concern, and that does happen. We don't expect it to happen. Google, of all companies, you would expect to be responsible, but hey, nobody's perfect. But again, it should be no different than surfing the web. That domain is going to retain that information, some information on your visit. It's very, very typical.
I did forget a point. Discord at this point does not support subchannels.
Yes.
And the solution we have discussed for that is to trim down our channels list a bit, or to just make the layout. The way on the test server I've got set up, it's basically it's all top level channels because they can't do subchannels. But I've formatted the names in a way that makes it look like they're subchannels. But that's something we could figure out.
We'll very likely have to modify the way that the channels are oriented and how they work. But that's down the road. We're obviously gonna do something that works for everyone and is usable. Everyone has plenty of space to do what they want to do without infringing on other people, and that's down the road for sure.
Did anybody have any questions?
Yeah, you said you could provide a link to people and they can just join on the website. I can't remember from when I first started using Discord, but do you have to make an account to?
No. Depending on the way you set up the invite and the way you set up the server, you can make it so all they have to do is put in a username, and then
your channel.
And then all it does is sort of puts them in there, and they get temporary membership of the server. And as soon as they leave the server, their membership is revoked, unless they set up an account. And there's a big button that says "Claim your username" at the bottom that they can click on to set up. It's a very quick process, but again, that's just you just put in a username.
Yeah, well, my only reason for that question being, okay, someone comes in and they do the open mic mic redirect thing with the soundboard or whatever, and they're just in there to troll, and then we ban them so they come back again and again and again and again with new guest user accounts.
As far as I know, Discord won't allow you to do that. From what I read of their security documentation,
like down to an IP or something.
Yeah, there's like a cooldown on their IP where they have to like. Well, first of all, it'll start doing captchas on them, so they have to like throw a captcha in every time, and then I think that's starting the second time, and then if you ban them, I think it logs their IP and doesn't allow them to jump right back in. I think that's something we can test though.
Okay.
And from the servers that I'm aware of that have been running for a month or two now, however long Discord's been out, probably longer than that, but I haven't heard a lot of complaints of that. That doesn't mean it's not happening, but I haven't heard any complaints of trolls not being able to be dealt with by administrators.
And it would have to be targeted towards us. It wouldn't be a random thing like you. They would have to go to our Facebook page, join the Facebook page, and then click a link, and then get into the Discord server, and decide to be dicks.
Like, we're doing, a raid or something.
Right.
Pugs, and we're like, okay, here's the Discord link, kind of thing.
Well, that is why the raid channels in the Discord are locked.
Right, yeah, but I'm just saying, not necessarily the pugs from the raid, but a similar situation where someone meets someone else in a game or something, and they put the Discord in chat for everyone to join, and one of those people just happens to have a vendetta against us or something, decides to jump in and start spamming us, or just be a troll in general.
We didn't really talk about moderator powers there. Can you comment on that, Rock?
It's pretty good. It's not quite as granular as TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak has down to the specific action permission sets and different power settings. It's very, very nice and very sort of daunting if you're not used to dealing with those kind of permission systems. Discord's a lot easier. It's got like a list of permissions, things that you can, the actions that can be taken, and you either grant permission for that user group to do that, deny permission for that user group to do that, or just take parent, which means if they have another user group that grants or denies them that permission, they inherit that instead of it speculated or specifying on its own. So it's workable enough that I don't think we'll lose any sort of, we won't lose any ability to sort people. If that makes sense.
Not to switch topics, but I am switching topics. Another thing I noticed very interesting that I hadn't considered is that some people or communities, they use Discord as a forum because the chat log, so there's chat channels and voice channels. Each chat channel, it logs all of the text there. So when you join, you can go back and chat in the text chat, and you can go back until the last time you were here or beyond, and you can see what's been going on in the community, kind of like a wall or anything like that. So that's a feature. TeamSpeak obviously is not logging anything going on when you're not connected.
No.
That would be different in Discord.
Yeah, that's a good point, Talk. Discord has a much more similar to Facebook like chat, but it's not like a page with individual posts. It's like chatting with another person on Facebook, but for a bunch of people.
It's been compared to IRC with voice, basically.
Huh.
And pictures.
Right,
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like the logging of the text, it's almost like it was developed as a text service first, and they tagged voice functionality onto it, which is different.
That is something else I wanted to touch on because I missed it in the document is because the chat channels are not tied to voice channels. You can have completely different setups. Like you can have a chat channel for like your raiders and admin and stuff like that. But there doesn't have not every single channel has to have a chat channel associated with it, and they probably won't.
It's also got private chat as well.
Yes, you can directly chat between your friends, and you can even directly VoIP between your friends, and you can have like a separate meeting in a sort of Skype fashion with as many people as you want, but not in the server itself.
So the text channels and the voice channels are completely separate from one another. So you as a user are occupying a text chat as well as a voice chat separately, but at the same time.
Well, you're always occupying a text chat.
Right.
When you join, you'll be in whatever the general text chat is. It has a default one, but you don't have to be in voice chat at all. In fact, you can just drop out of voice chat altogether and still be in the server and still be in the chat. One of the cool things about this is if you're on your phone or if you're at work and you still want to chat with people, you don't have to bring up the VoIP and then mute it. It's just not connected. And again, it's being web-based. You don't have to download anything.
Since we're talking about technical stuff also, though, it should be noted that the Discord app uses substantially more system resources than TeamSpeak does.
That's kind of a given. Yeah, it's a little bit more heavy. In fact, the Discord client I discovered the other day is actually just a self-contained web browser window. The desktop client is. I got a 404 error in it when they were having the API issues. Or a 502. Anyway, the point is, it's basically a little tiny web browser with a single page that it goes to, and that's kind of neat. I really don't know if that's going to be a problem, though, Tanker. I'm just looking at people's system specs these days. It's kind of...
It's not. If they can't run Discord in the background, then they probably can't do hot content in Guild Wars 2 either.
Right. Let alone, like, Battlefield or some shit.
Yeah. Also, you guys already went over... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm echoing. Hang on. Is that better? Yeah, that should be better. You guys already mentioned a little bit about the security issues. I just wanted to let you guys know that a lot of that is actually going away, specifically because of the thing that Taka just said a minute ago about the negatives and positives being due to Discord being a new thing. The issue that I had with the app encrypting stuff only on server side and having the key for the encryption hosted on the server side as well, making it easy to hack, is actually changing because there's actually going to be encryption methods on client side in the future as well, and that's going to make it so that way people can't listen in between the client side to wherever it's hosted.
That's good news.
Yeah, that's a big improvement.
We also didn't talk about bots.
Oh, shit.
Discord has a lot of bots. TeamSpeak actually has a lot of bots too, but it seems that TeamSpeak bots are a little harder to work with and get to function right. Rock was able to throw up a couple of bots, all kinds of crazy bots, within a matter of hours that are pretty functional. So,
well, if I could.
Yep.
TeamSpeak bots, I don't really think the developers of TeamSpeak intended for bots to be a thing. They basically, what you have to do for a TeamSpeak bot is to load up the client or a program that emulates the client on a machine, and it will log in just like any other user. And you have to grant it permissions, and then everything else the bot does is kind of behind the scenes, and you have to put like it'll sit there and monitor chat for data, and it'll parse the chat and figure out if there's any commands in there that it needs to run. With Discord, they have an API, and it's built in, and you basically, there are literally websites where you go and you just scroll through the bots and like, oh, this one's nice, you click add and it adds. And you click the add button, you click the server you want because you'll already be logged in, your session will already be established in the web browser if you're using the web browser. So what you do is you click add, then you select the server that you have to be an owner of the server or an admin, I think. You add the thing, and then you click confirm, and so it's like 3 clicks to add it. There are some other configuration things that have to take place on some bots depending on their complexity, but they're very useful. Currently we've got one that you can search Urban Dictionary, Pokédex, and it'll also look up YouTube links just by their name.
User joined your channel.
So, and it'll also, well, we have another one that plays music. So it's fairly it's kind of unlimited what you can do with the bots. It's just a matter of finding the right bot, and if you don't find the right bot, you can actually just make them yourself too.
Should also add that the bots are substantially more stable on Discord.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's no one of the cool things I found is when I was working on a music bot for TeamSpeak, the biggest request or the biggest thing I had problems with was somebody would put a link in and then somebody else would put a link in after them and overwrite their link or crash the bot. All the Discord bots I've seen so far have automatic queuing, so you play a song and then somebody else plays a song and it just queues theirs up.
Could that be an issue if people are accidentally posting things that have a very long playtime? Is there any way of
There's a
turning
skip
it
function.
off?
There's
Okay.
there's a vote skip function actually.
Interesting.
You can actually have everybody vote to skip the item and it'll skip. And I think there might even be in some of them a cap on like how long the video can be. So
You can
there's
probably
that.
set a cap then.
Yeah, it depends on the bot.
And then like Taka kind of said, it seems to be it would appear that it's much easier to build bots for and manage, and with Discord becoming more and more popular, the number of bots is available is astounding. I mean,
Yeah, there's
anything you can
hundreds.
imagine.
Also, for people who do like World vs. World and stuff like that on Guild Wars, or for any other reason have to be in multiple chat channels, Discord actually does it just as well, or if not better than TeamSpeak.
Yeah, it's more like like somebody said a Facebook wall than a instance chat window because it doesn't go away when you disconnect and reconnect. And in fact, you can pin stuff to the top of the chat.
Yep.
Interesting. I actually wasn't aware of that, Taka. That's an interesting feature. Yet a bot is just another user, so you can mute them or block them, and you won't see the content. So if we have a World of Warcraft bot where you can look up your characters' stats, if you don't play WoW and you're tired of seeing all that shit, you can just block it and you won't see it anymore.
Well, another thing you can do is you can have it where the bot replies in private message to people who put in commands. Or you can have it where it only accepts commands through private message, so people are receiving information that they need, but it's not necessarily in all chat. And you can also dictate which channels it's in. So you could have a World of Warcraft bot in the World of Warcraft channel, but not everywhere else.
Nice.
Probably should also mention that Discord's also completely free, so if other people in the community want to have their own private channel for anything that they want to do in the future for any reason, then that's always an option as well.
I mean, technically, yeah, you can. But so can you with TeamSpeak.
Oh, I didn't know TeamSpeak had a free.
Well, as long as you
option.
have a sufficiently powerful machine, which a toaster could run TeamSpeak server. You can run a TeamSpeak server. It's not hard. I mean, it's hard, but it's not as easy as Discord.
Oh, so it's only like the 500 plus man servers that require the
That doesn't cost anything.
authorization.
Well, all that is basically you have to have a website. Like, I don't think we would even qualify for it now if we reapplied for one for TeamSpeak, but we got it back when the website was still a thing, and so it's a license file. It doesn't cost anything. It just had to go through an approval process. With Discord, I don't know that there is a hard limit on how many people. I'm sure there is a technical limit, but I don't know that they advertise a limit on the server.
Yeah.
No.
So obviously we want to encourage everyone to use our server, but
Yeah.
I'm in the client right now, but I click add server, create a server, I put in a name, and I hit create, and suddenly I own my own Discord server.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
Yep. Well, the reason why I mentioned that is actually because there's a lot of people that like to have times away from the community for whatever reason. Maybe they're upset or whatever. But if they still want to have their friends with them for a couple hours while they blow off some steam or whatever, then they have that option. Also, ow, my cat's biting me. Hanging.
Get him, Georgia.
Damn, I forgot even where I was going with that.
Point being, it's easy to do. Everything with Discord seems to be much easier to go through the process of setting up. It's a lot more user friendly.
It seems like, and I think TeamSpeak maybe from the very birth of TeamSpeak, they were oriented towards businesses, and they wanted to create a client for businesses to use because there's more money in that market. And it was picked up by the gaming communities uh, to use, but they've never really had their heart in supporting gaming.
Yeah, I actually think that and I don't have any conclusive proof of this, but it looks to me like the development for TeamSpeak 3 has pretty much stopped for several years now. Their plugins, like they used to have a page, like a website, sort of a subdomain for their plugins, where you could have a plugin page and the information about that page. It's been gutted, and it has been gutted for years, and there's very little way to get plugin information, and it's a lot worse than it used to be. I don't know what the deal is. They don't seem to be doing much except like maintenance patches and security patches, and I don't know what the deal is.
I mentioned that earlier, that a lot of the downsides of Discord, we would expect that there's a very real possibility that the developers would address those,
Yeah.
as it is still a new software. It seems like TeamSpeak has stagnated from a development standpoint since what Overwolf and the mobile client. There really hasn't been any big changes in a long time.
As well, like that the sub-channel thing for Discord, that's on their to-do list. It's not
Right.
like something that they're very vocal. Speaking about Discord here, Discord's very vocal. Like they talk to their community often. They've got, I don't know if it's just got their PR guy, but their whoever does their YouTube channel and like talks about their updates and puts out their patch notes, guy is hilarious, and he seems to be pretty cool. But because they have the best update videos I have ever seen, and it's not like from an informational standpoint, they're literally entertaining. So I feel like they're a lot more involved with the people that they support than TeamSpeak is, and that's just my observation. I don't know.
Also, just to let everybody know, I've been given a lot of positive about Discord, but make sure you understand that I'm not just being biased with Discord. I actually have only recently started to like Discord. I've actually hated it since launch, and it's been almost a year now. So, yeah, take that with a grain of salt with me being happy about moving to Discord. Mainly because of the lack of updates and stuff like you guys were just talking about.
I mean, trying to find their patch notes. So I'm just trying to see the final latest patch notes for both of them.
Any other questions while we wait?
Nope. I think you guys got the technical stuff pretty well lined out. I have no issues with Discord. I think it also, like, from a standpoint of public perception, it kind of shows that you guys are up to date. And I think TeamSpeak kind of signals that kind of maybe like an old man guild.
Are we making push to talk a standard?
No.
As much
Get
as
off
I'd
my
like
lawn,
to,
man.
as much as I'd like to, a couple of our admins are still, auto voicers.
Good, go to the Ventrilo.
Yeah,
Discord.
just hearing loud pitch noises and stuff like that from people dropping plates or sneezing can kind of get annoying.
Or birds saying, "What are you doing?" Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
the
anything
charm.
specific or anything.
I really do prefer push to talk, but and you're like getting into like Nazi mode there, telling people what
Okay, the last update for as far as client goes, on their website for TeamSpeak was 6/4/2016, and the last update for Discord was 10/13/2016, so 10 days ago.
These guys like not die. They're immune.
they just they're not taking damage.
Oh, and they just implemented League of Legends Sync, so that's interesting.
I need the quest item off this map. when it drops.
Another thing I'll note, and I don't know how much of you guys will actually use these, but the FAQ and or if you can ask questions and the general like guides to how to do stuff in Discord are fairly well written. I don't have anything in TeamSpeak to compare them against, though.
User joined your channel.
So I don't really know if there's a comparison there, but they seem to be very well written with screenshots and clear, concise directions.
I was on the Havoc Demon Hunter Discord, and apparently a lot of the Discord people that maintain the Discord actually write the stuff for Wowhead and all those other big sites.
Oh, neat.
So that's why they're so well written.
Okay, I feel like we've covered it. If anyone else have any questions or concerns?
I do have a question, actually. Has anybody here actually not had the chance of testing Discord with either the free version or the app yet?
App's free.
Well, I mean the website version, non-downloadable version. How about that?
That's fine.
So I think
Sure.
everyone here is admin or raid team.
Pretty much.
Well, I know Ariel just joined. I know she's familiar from League. I think everyone here has used the client in our trial, except maybe Ariel.
For those who don't know, we used the raid team for a trial run of the Discord just to see how it would perform. So that's why they all know about it.
Speaking of that also, you guys mentioned something about not knowing what the cap is for the number of people. Well, I have another community that I play PvP with in Guild Wars 2 occasionally, and they've had over 600 people in one server. Not all in one channel, but I mean, that's a pretty large amount of people.
That'll
And
do.
It ran
Yeah, I
fine.
think
I
we
mean, there
can
wasn't
handle
any
that.
hiccups or anything, so.
That's good.
I was actually expecting it to have like chat lag and stuff like that during that time, but it's actually pretty quick still.
As far as I know, it scales. Like your server kind of just, if it starts to use up a whole lot of space, it'll just allocate more resources on their server farm or whatever.
Makes sense.
There was something I was gonna check here. Hold on.
I guess.
Yeah. So
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't. Let's see here. In so the Guild Wars 2 subreddit has a Discord, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in here. Not necessarily all in voice, but in chat. So chat pretty much goes around all day. So yeah, I'd have to agree with Tinker. There's quite a few people in here. There's not going to be an issue with capacity.
Until I start recruiting.
Huh. I dare you.
Hey, we'll deal with that problem when we get there. Whatever we gotta do.
Oh, I forgot. Currently we have a bot that has the ability to show when people specified by the settings go live on Twitch. I've tested this with Deadeye's account and Walls' account and the main United as One Gaming account, and it seems to be pretty reliable. It's just kind of a neat thing. I don't know if it totally replaces posting in Facebook, but it's just another little tidbit that's neat.
I like the idea of keeping TeamSpeak, or I mean, not TeamSpeak, keeping TeamSpeak up, like Taka said, with just a link with the Discord information for a decent amount of time, at least a month or so.
Well, if we did do a transition, this is a theoretical, I'm not saying we are, but if we did a transition, we would basically first, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Deadeye, but we would announce the transition to Discord once it's been decided, and then we would put up a link in TeamSpeak, like you say, and then just kind of thin out the channels in TeamSpeak over time until it's just a one channel with a link that says please go here, and then after however long, until there's nobody else in there, we can just shut it down.
Yeah, I had also imagined about a month in my mind. We would at some point we would probably just wipe all the channels, and put one channel in here that says, "Hey, we moved to Discord. Click this link."
Oh, we don't even need to do that.
Something like that. Yeah.
You can actually in TeamSpeak you can set a join message
Yeah.
that pops up.
The
But-
yeah.
the server that runs this TeamSpeak though, is that the only thing that server currently does?
Yeah.
Is this a private server, or are you guys having it hosted
It's
currently?
my server.
Does
it's
that
my-
allocate community sources for other things like
No, it can't run a
like
Battlefield server.
Damn.
No, it's completely dedicated to TeamSpeak. It's at Rock's house, so it would presumably be shut down.
Well, I
We
have
have
another.
another member.
I have plans
User was
for it.
moved to your channel.
I'm also setting up some Discord bots on it just for testing, but that would presumably be its primary function, if at all. If it.
User left your channel.
Way to scare people away.
Right?
Well, that works. Whatever.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, it's just a server.
yeah, so kind of a path forward. I guess just to gauge for myself, is anyone in here adamantly against switching?
Not anymore.
Okay, so it sounds positive. We're not making a decision, but all indications are that this is likely to happen. Walls can verify or disagree with me here, but let's give it a week of Facebook discussion, a poll, and maybe next weekend, if everything's been positive or all the concerns addressed, we can make the switch. That's all we had as presenters. I guess we can briefly touch on Battlefield, but let's close out Discord. One last chance for anyone who has a question or has something to say.
There are no stupid questions except the ones you don't ask.
Why can't I ask a stupid question?
Okay, real quick, other community news. Torch, you want to touch on Battlefield real quick?
Yeah, so as some of you know, Battlefield released on the 21st, which is Friday.
Yep.
And so there's an interesting thing with the new Battlefield. There's no longer third-party hosted servers. EA has taken up just providing the server rentals themselves to provide a more consistent gaming experience for the game. Talks with the admin, we kind of wanted to possibly, rent our own server from EA, just to have, our name out there and, get some more people to come into the community to play games with and, happy fun times and stuff. So we were just in discussions about getting a server. We were just, I wanted to bring it up in this meeting to gauge how much interest we have from the community. And see how many people plan on picking up the game in the next couple weeks or month or so. I know a lot of you, or some of you, probably don't have funds to get it, immediately when it comes out and stuff like that, but plan on picking it up at a later point. So, yeah, I just wanted to see, what's everyone think?
I plan
I'm
on
gonna get
picking it up.
Just later.
Just later.
I for
I
one
got
love
too
it.
much stuff to spend on my truck that I can't afford it.
Walt
I thought you
can't
had a
afford
car.
something? What?
I have 4 rotors, 4 pads, and 4 tires I need to buy.
Big
Or winter
baller with
hits.
cars and trucks.
So it's been a
Nice.
while since we played a game that had dedicated servers, but
Yeah.
in the past, Call of Duties and things, we've been very successful hosting gameplay servers. So we're really excited to get a client that'll allow us to do that again. I guess we have Arc, but even in Arc, Arc's probably full right now. Nobody here is playing, but we have a server that's very successful, and we have a track record of being able to do that. So we're very excited. Hopefully, we can get back into that as a means to grow and gain more members.
Right. Yeah, as of right now, the Arc is actually run by someone else. We just kind of
It's got our name on it.
I have our name on it, right? Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Blake's baby.
No, the $60 is for the game. So EA is also doing something different as far as server rentals. They're not doing it by slot, which would be person connected. Basically, each slot is up to 64. Because you have 64 players connected, and it used to be like 99 cents, $1.50 per slot, and that would be per month that you would rent it. EA is now doing a per day rental for the servers instead of a per slot, so you can have any size server and it will cost the same amount. Being that we are playing on PC, the cost is roughly 50% more. Probably related to the 64 slot servers we can run on PC versus the 32 slot on console. So I think it's like, I can't even remember. I'd have to pull it up. But I think it's like $3 a day or something if you want to do it that way. But you can rent by week or by month, and they're much cheaper if you rent for a longer period of time. I think 3 months was like $99. Which a normal server, if you look up right now, is from like Game Servers or some of the other big game hosting companies, is about $80 a month. So
User joined your
$99
channel.
for 3 months isn't too bad. But yeah, I was gonna front the first couple months at least, if it's super popular, and I'm having a good time. I'll probably continue to do that, and people can offer money if they want, but I'm trying to make it not a required thing.
I have a question about the game.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, you know how Microsoft, with their latest release on their Xbox News, they were doing the whole play your
User
Xbox
joined your
games on your
channel.
computer?
Mm-hmm.
Are they doing that same thing with Battlefield 1?
I think
no?
that's exclusives only.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Halo and Microsoft.
I was gonna say, if that's possible with Battlefield 1, we might want to do Xbox version. That way anyone who has it on Xbox, wants to play it on Xbox, can still play with us, while us folks that like the PC can still play it on the PC.
I don't think it's available on the Windows Store.
Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately.
There's no cross platform, because I'm pretty sure EA knows that we would wreck the shit out of console scrubs.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was
I
that
just know
number
that we've got
per
some
month
console
again?
scrubs among us, so.
Torch, what was the price per month again?
For Battlefield?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up real quick. I'll get you the
A
exact
ballpark.
number. I think I don't know the per month. I remember the 3 month and the 1 day.
Okay.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I like the idea of having a server, but I think you'll have to gauge how many people are going to play, because like what we're seeing right now in the server browser is either server's hammered out full or it's empty. So we'd be needing to probably seed the server with 10, 12 people to get it going.
Like last night, the issue we were running into, because we had a group of 5 or 6 people, and we all wanted to go into a server, but you're right, there were only either empty servers or full servers. So with private servers in the past, we could have reserved slots, where they worked in 2 ways. You could either push yourself to the front of the line and skip people in queue, or it would immediately take someone out of the server, which I don't think we'd want to do. It immediately kick someone out of the server and put you in their slot. So,
well, I've seen
it'd
them
be an
where
easier way of collaborating.
I've seen them in Battlefield 4, and I don't know if this is like something that can be done in this game, but what they'll have is a set of reserve slots that do not fill except for people who are reserved. And then they fill, and then if there's an open slot in the server, it'll slide down into one of those slots. But those slots are always available for people who are like premium or whatever.
Right.
They're
Well,
separate.
The premium was the skip normal people in line.
Oh.
You actually had to like whoever owned the server would have to like make you a reserve slot person. Okay, so here's the exact numbers. 1 day is $2.99. 7 days is $11.99. 30 days, that's 1 month, is $42.99. 90 days is $99.99. And 180 days is $149.99.
Okay, that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah.
We could do a. I don't know if they'll let you do this in chat, but you could have like a thing where people can donate to the server, not for like stuff, but like help keep us running.
Yeah, that was gonna question of mine. So
Yeah.
Usually there's a website attached to a server, and then people can donate and all that good stuff. I mean, they come to Discord too. Same.
We could
deal.
just dump money into Torch's PayPal. I'm sure he's trustworthy.
Yeah.
Chipotle for everyone. Oh,
He needs
anyways.
money for a vape port in his Subaru.
Okay, does that close out Battlefield? Any other general, just community stuff, upcoming games? Anybody have any problems?
One more thing on
Yeah.
the Battlefield thing. Private servers are not available yet. They say by November. They don't give an exact date. Is when they'll be available, and they'll be purchasable through the in-game store. But yeah, that's all I
Interesting.
had for Battlefield. That's the end of my stuff now.
Okay.
Just wanted to bring that up, so we weren't expecting to have a server right away.
So if you haven't played Battlefield, the sniping is a lot harder, and there's no claymores. So prepare your body.
It's fine. I'll just make sure I aim for headshots on you.
Who doesn't aim for headshots? What do you scrub?
I mean specifically on you. Totally gonna outsnipe the Rock Fox.
Alright, here's a post to the forum, or here's a link to the forum post that I just got my information from.
How long will it take for me to top the charts again?
Infinity.
You're not allowed.
Not allowed?
Humans don't get ranks. We just get exempt from that because
And I
Is
run
that-
around knifing people.
See.
Invisible?
Dice camo and infrared scopes.
it's World War I, buddy.
World War I can have dice camo.
Can
Oh, the
I
ad-
kill campers?
How would the admin
Repeatedly.
stuff work on the server? Like if you donate, you get admin, or
No, absolutely not.
Nope.
Nope.
stranger
Maybe,
can't walk in and get admin?
maybe I don't know. This would be discussion. This would be up for discussion and probably a vote. In the long run, among seeing our options for the server and things of that nature. But yeah, donations definitely will not get grant admin. You can't pay to ban people essentially.
How do you feel about cosmetic stuff?
I was gonna say something that wouldn't give them unfair advantage, but still something that's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of servers in the past have done like server ranks, scores. You know, we did this in Renegade. You know, way back. Every user you gained points and you were ranked based on your time in the server and your performance and stuff like that.
We won't know how that works, honestly. Like,
Right.
because those are gonna be those are like bots and add-ons and things of that nature, Archon stuff that might not be available through the EA product.
Probably
because
not, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's probably one reason EA wanted to do their own servers. They wanted to get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah,
because
having
a lot of
physical access to the box that runs it opens the door to a lot of customization where you're using a developer portal to run the server usually doesn't.
Yeah.
Anything else we got? WoW going on. We still got League going on. The League Worlds is next weekend. What else?
Koreans, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, more Koreans at Worlds. Pretty much WoW and
Into the
League
WoW
are
thing.
hopping right now. We still got a couple Overwatch players, a couple Guild Wars players, probably a couple Lark players here and there, but that's where we're at right now. Anybody expecting any big titles soon that we should expect to see some popularity?
Star Citizen.
Pokemon.
I heard Star
Citizen is
Citizen's free till the end of the month or something.
Yeah, probably Arena
Yeah.
Commander or something like
Said
that.
soon though.
Star
Citizen's like
Star
5 years
Citizen.
out.
Yeah, but it's a beta or an alpha actually.
It's an alpha. They had promised the single player portion of the game last month, and we can see how far that's gotten. So I wouldn't put your expectations too high on that.
They're very much when it's done, as far as their shit goes.
Yeah, I like that though. No, we don't want another No Man's Sky on our hands.
Burn. Anyways, I have something about WoW. So we're having a new WoW patch on Tuesday. A couple of us in guild were thinking about putting together a group to down the final boss of Nightmare, of the Nightmare thingy-majigger on Heroic tonight to get the
User
ahead of the
joined your
curve
channel.
achievement.
Xavius.
Yeah, we're gonna kill Xavius on Heroic, which is the only boss we have left on Heroic anyways. We're gonna try and get the ahead of the curve achievement around, what was it, 7 or 8 tonight, if anyone was interested. Just putting that out there.
By the way, Torched, I won't be there on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't change anything on it.
That's cool. I found Holy Pally to be quite entertaining.
Alright. I don't want to keep anybody any longer than we have to. What else we got going on? Anything else we need to talk about?
Diablo 4 rumors.
Half-Life 3
Diablo
rumors?
4?
Oh my god, that video.
They didn't even come out with the third expansion.
Fucking video.
Diablo
They
3's
came
been
out
out for a while.
They haven't announced anything going on in Diablo for the anniversary yet, so
Say Diablo again?
fuck you.
I mean, the Diablo 3, the third expansion hasn't even come out yet, so.
I hit 110 in WoW.
There's
That
rumors
newsworthy.
that they're going to
Alright.
announce Diablo 4 at BlizzCon 2016.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's craziness.
So we're likely to have some more meetings before then and now. Between then and now.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Last chance, 5 seconds.
Yeah, I like
Bye,
to bring
Felicia.
Hey, can I bring a game up I've been playing here lately? I've been telling Tanker about it.
Let's hear it.
It's a game a friend of mine got me into. It does have an online server, which I've not tried yet. But it's actually a game called 7 Days to Die.
Yep.
And it's actually pretty freaking hard as hell to play. It's close, from what I've heard, from what some people call it, close to similar. They say it's almost close to Minecraft and stuff from like where you start out.
Yeah,
Is this a Steam game? I feel like I've heard of this before.
Yeah, it's a Steam game, and oh god, I've been freaking playing my ass off on it, but it's a bitch to play, excuse my French.
It's an open world zombie survival game.
Yeah, it's another one of those early access.
H1Z1.
Not quite.
It's first person.
H1Z1 Arc.
It's
War Z.
first person with more crafting and stuff.
It's a lot more, yeah,
I mean,
heavy
you
on the
craft in
crafting.
H1Z1. You build
It's a
things.
lot. It's a big
More-
time
more
heavy
so
on the
than-
crafting. Like
You
Minecraft
craft an
level.
insert game title here.
What was that one zombie game that was
Zombie
never
Craft.
finished and he ran off with all the money?
Daisy.
Daisy. H1Z1.
They're still. It's still
None of
an
them are
alpha.
ever going to finish.
War Z.
Ugh, War Z. Yeah, I've played
Yeah.
7 Days. They're putting a lot of time and effort into it. I've seen, but it's a little too craft heavy for me. But
It's got 15,000 players right now in the alpha. That's pretty good.
If it
Looking
picks
for-
up, we can always throw something up. But
Check it out if that interests you. It looks like it's $25, which is about right for alpha access these days. I don't see. I thought these generally had like ratings on here, but I'm not seeing anything. But yeah, check that out if that's your thing.
Oh, I have an announcement to make. I don't know if you guys have known about this. If you guys buy games on Steam, stop. Buy them on cdkeys.com. You'll pay like a third of the price for any game.
I have a moral objection.
Stolen
Yeah, stolen credit
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is people steal credit cards, buy game keys with them, and then the credit card company, well, the person whose credit card was stolen will obviously try to get their money back. So it either A, screws over the person whose card it is, or B, screws over the game company.
I
Or
think
C gets you banned from Steam.
Yep.
I think they actually have. I've actually bought several games from it, by the way. But I believe that they actually get their games when they go on sale, like during the summer sales and stuff like that, and then they resell the keys at a slightly
Well, a lot of sites do
slight
that.
markup
Let's
over time.
let's investigate that a little bit more before we go advertising it,
A
because
lot of sites do that too. Like they'll do that along with stolen credit card keys and stuff?
Well, there's sites like Penguin that I just cannot. Kinguin. I just. Yeah. No.
Club Penguin?
Kinguin.
Oh.
Point is, I would think that merits discussion before we just go advertising that to everybody.
That's fine. Right back.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. Not that I can think of.
That's a negative here as well.
Okay, Rock, get with me. Let's get this recording on YouTube for everybody. And yeah, you guys have a good day. All the admin are available to you at your needs. We're on Facebook all the time. So yeah, let us know if anything comes up. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, when you get a chance, send me that YouTube link so I can catch up
User
when I
left
came
your
in.
channel.
Yeah, if you're not on our Facebook group, I recommend it. But that's probably going to be posted.
Well, I'm on
User
the
left
Facebook,
your
91
channel.
Game and Facebook.